What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It has been a minute, and I am fortunately back, or maybe unfortunately back, with another coffee review, and this comes from Higher Grounds Coffee Company. They are out of Traverse City, Michigan, and this coffee is named after its producers, a cooperative known as Kawa Kanzururu, and it comes from the Democratic Republic of Congo. This guy or girl, gorilla on the bag here, represents the social cause, or at least one of the social causes behind this coffee. By purchasing this coffee, you are directly supporting the Virunga Alliance, and they provide essential jobs, protect biodiversity, and guard the critically endangered mountain gorillas. And this cooperative basically is right on the outskirts of Virunga National Park, and it is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. So what about the coffee itself? So notes on the bag say dark chocolate, raisin, and floral. In my experience, it didn't really start out that way. So what I got in the beginning when brewing through the American press, which was the first brew method I used, and that is kind of like immersion mixed with pressurized extraction, and I had pretty much the opposite result of what I was expecting. I got a lot of lime flavor, pretty heavy acidity, and was really expecting more dark notes, but didn't really get much of that. I did get a lot of body in the coffee, but a little bit too much acidity. Then I moved towards the Chemex, and the Chemex was a little bit more in line with these darker notes described on the bag, at least dark chocolate and raisin. I would say that I tasted something reminiscent of both those notes. Maybe something that was just chocolate in general, and I did pick up a little bit of a dried fruit element to the flavor. Still a little bit of acidity, but not as much as I got, surprisingly, with the American press. I also brewed with the Kalita Wave, and that was probably one of my favorite brew methods used. So a lot of body still, and a lot more of those dark flavors to balance it out. So it was kind of more acidic in the aftertaste and chocolatey up front. And finally, I brewed with espresso, or I should say I brewed a shot of espresso, and I just eyeballed everything. And I couldn't believe how good it turned out. It was remarkably sweet. It was exceptionally balanced, and it had that chocolate flavor that I started to get used to and expect as I brewed more and more with this coffee. So I do have half a bag left, and I'll give you a look at the beans now. You can see that they are pretty much on the lighter side, but arguably still a medium roast. In any case, I would say it's probably like a light medium roast. And overall, I would say that this coffee is definitely good enough for espresso. I would highly recommend it for that brew method alone, and would see myself repurchasing it specifically for espresso. As far as the other brew methods, I thought drip was okay, and it's kind of still to be determined how it's going to turn out overall. Pretty straightforward, not a lot of complexity. And immersion, again, I've got a small sample size for that too. I only brewed 1 cup, and again, that was through the American press. Didn't really work out so nicely, but I'm hoping that I can maybe bounce back from that initially really sour lime-like coffee to something that is more balanced. So that information is likely going to be in the written review once I get through this whole bag of coffee. But for now, you've got a brief overview of this coffee, which is again from Higher Grounds Coffee, and they're They're from Traverse City, Michigan. So if you're in that area, you can check them out, or you can purchase the coffee for $15 directly through their website, and maybe you can specially request it through MistoBox if you are subscribed to them. So of course you can check out my review of MistoBox, which is still the only coffee subscription service that I use on a regular basis. Aside from that, if you have any questions or have maybe happened to try this coffee, leave your comments and questions below. And of course, if you like coffee, don't forget to subscribe. There's a button right in the bottom corner, and you know where it is. You're on YouTube all the time, right? Haha.